Salam Tal, xoş gördük. Mənim sənə bir neçə sualım olacaqdır. Dear Tal, thank you for taking this invitation and being ready to answer some questions for our teachers. My first question is, so today we will discuss more about entrepreneurial teaching, why it's important to teach entrepreneurship to the kids. And let's start with the first question. Why is it important to teach entrepreneurship at schools to the young people?
Hi, Savine. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. Also, as part of my role in JAA for some years right now. So I think first question is very important, and it has to relate, I will say, with the general understanding that entrepreneurship needs to start young, and the younger they start, the better. First of all, young people have no problems to say what they think. They're not so much, as we say, they're not so much into politics. They're very easy to respond, and they're also very creative. In a way, young people are, as we say, like clay. Okay, you can shape them, you can mold them in many ways. And again, they're very receptive. And as you know now, kids are very smart. They're very smart, they're very sensitive, they pick up on things, and mainly they don't have a problem to say their minds. Okay, as we say again, they're very honest. So entrepreneurship is I think, is very important. I think also in the molding of people as people in general. It needs to start young, and by that I mean it needs to start in schools. Again, to start to teach kids entrepreneurship is not something that teachers are born into or instructors are born into. They also need to go through education and training how to best do it. Just a hint to say, sometimes, even we see it at home with our kids, sometimes we say something that we don't think too much about. One sentence, we do a face. This has a big implication on young people. So the teachers need to be very, very sensitive. I'll give you an example. Let's say a kid comes and he has this idea, and he tells you the idea, and you know, you don't think it's a good idea. Teachers, instructors need to be very, very sensitive on how they approach, how they listen, and especially how to respond to the kids when they turn to them with ideas. Because, okay, we said startups is not for everyone, and good, no, not everyone has a good idea, but if they're willing to try, we need to give them the chance. It's very important.
I have my second question. Like, you have all the talk about advantages of entrepreneurial education, but I would like to learn more about the skills. What are the key skills that kids learn when they start entrepreneurship, or they start their first entrepreneurial experience?
So I think that first of all, they need to come with, let's say, some characteristics or some capabilities of their own. They need to be very curious. They need to be creative. They need to be able to be creative, to see a problem and to try in a way to attack it or to solve it from different ways. This is why we need to let them, you know, be more free in their minds, okay? No doubt that what they will get from it is, first of all, teamwork, because to really come up with something, one person, it's very difficult. He can come maybe with a good idea, but ideas, as we know today, need to meet reality and need to meet technology. And for this, you need several people. So first of all, to have a team, to be a team member, to act within society, to be able to listen to someone else's idea, to say your own idea, not to sit quietly, not to say anything. So this is number one. Number two is the ability also to deliver. So we think something, but you know, in order to take it from the mind to even to the writing, to the computer, is a task. And then we need to put it in an orderly fashion. It needs to be organized, okay? So how do you organize your ideas, okay? And then how you present them. So again, you can have a very good idea, or you can be very brilliant without the ability to communicate with people, without the ability to deliver or to say or to tell your idea, okay? It's another skill that a person needs to learn, okay? Timeline, keeping, I mean, you gave a timeline, you need to keep it. Building your project plan. So again, organizing, seeing that you do what you say according to the timeline, okay, according to the delivery that you need to do. So many attributes that are given during this time or as part of this process.
Okay, yes, it is very important skills that kids actually need to learn, even being at the schools. But there are some skills that the teachers also need to.
Yes.
To have.
Yeah.
So yes.
Yeah. So speaking about the teachers, so I think the teachers needs to start with being very, very supportive and open-minded. So sometimes we hear a problem and immediately we have an idea how to solve it. And especially for teachers, there's always this inside fight between them. Should I give the answer or should I give the tools to reach the answer? And the right answer, is my opinion, is you need to give the tools. Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, our main job as teachers is not to recite, not to teach them by heart, but to give them the set of tools and then send them on the way to explore how they think they should solve the problem. So it's starting to be, as I said in the beginning, being open, being receptive, being able to listen, not to come up with immediately the solution, especially when it comes to men. Men are problem solvers. Immediately you have a problem, they solve it. No, listen, give the tools, give the practice, give maybe directions, but don't tell them which direction to choose. It's up to them. By the way, in this stage, whatever they choose is okay. Maybe not optimal, maybe not the best, but this is what they choose. And we need to let them, as we say, trial and error. They need to choose the way, and if they find out it was wrong, they need to learn it by themselves. We don't need to give it to them from the beginning. No, I recommend you don't go this way, you're gonna fail. Never say it. Why? How do you know he's gonna fail? Maybe he's gonna make it, by the way, okay? So I think this is very important. Another thing is, I think the teachers have to have their own, a lot of knowledge. This is part of what I say. So knowledge doesn't mean that you need to know every part of the technology, but you need to know some business, some finance, some marketing, some business development, some market survey, a bit of everything. Again, these are the tools, and you need to learn the tools. You need to be able to give them the tools, so you need to know them. Okay.
Now, I have these similar questions. So I would like to ask my next question. So about, again, the teachers. How should teachers differentiate traditional entrepreneurship from the modern one? How they should be able to explain what is the startup, what is the innovation, how they can explain kids that they're selling in, so for example, in Azerbaijan, teachers mainly think, okay, if you are produce something and you sell it, then this is entrepreneurship. So what will be your suggestion? So how they can explain, first they should understand and then explain how to differentiate traditional entrepreneurship from the modern one.
It's a difficult question. It's not an easy question what you just asked me. And I think that we have touched it during the seminar of January that we had. If you remember, we started the seminar with asking, what is innovation? What is innovation? Is innovation that is to create something new? Maybe it's to take something that is already existing and make it work a different way, or maybe work better. If we take a chair and we take one leg, okay? Well, it's new. No one is doing a three-legged chair, but it will not stand. It will fall. So it's not innovation because it's not usable. So first of all, define the innovation. Then understand that currently when we say technology innovation is a one cluster of innovation. Well, it's not, doesn't have to be technical, but when we speak entrepreneurship and we speak startup, we expect technical innovation. It needs to be technology. But as I said, it could be something else. It could be taking a service that was done in a certain way until today and changing it. But could that we change it with using another technology, or maybe just with a business idea? Well, business models is also innovation. You know, for instance, Facebook was running for 5 years without having a business model. Still it survived, still it's a huge company, okay, still doing billions and billions of dollars before having a business model. So when we think about innovation, we would say, first of all, about startups, we will think about technology. Otherwise, we will call it a small business. For instance, if I want to sell shirts and I have a brain idea, so I want my cart to stand in the street, to do music and light. Could be that something new, but there is no technology in that. There is no innovation in that. But it's another interesting way of opening a nice small business of selling T-shirts. Okay?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. This is very, very interesting. So it's even makes many things clear. So what is the startup? What is the traditional entrepreneur? What is the modern entrepreneurship? So it's huge pool. So when you just try to understand how to explain, what to explain.
Yeah.
And then I also have when we talk about the teachers, it also include the trainers. So as you mentioned, in January, we had a training for our trainers, but in Azerbaijan, Junior Achievement also try to involve more teachers, not only from Baku, but from the regions to teach entrepreneurship. So I have one very interesting question. So in order to be a trainer or teacher of entrepreneurship, should they be entrepreneurs or should they have entrepreneurial experience before teaching entrepreneurship? It's not important? So,
you know, I think in almost every profession, like let's say a football coach or a basketball coach, does he need to be a player before? I mean, for us to teach someone, like the Ministry of Economy, does he have to have a diploma in economy? Or the Justice Ministry, does he need to be a lawyer? Well, no. He has very good consultants. Teachers on this part are a little bit different. This is why we take them through seminars. So you don't need really to invent your own startup if we can in a way simulate how could that be, okay? Or maybe you can go online and learn, for sure. This is, we say, when someone had a good meal, you know, his stomach is full,
yes.
It's very difficult for him to understand someone who is starving right now because his stomach is full. So what we're saying, you need to walk the walk and talk the talk in order to give advice to someone who is on his way.
Yes.
I think that it will for sure be helpful for someone who teaches entrepreneurship to go through the process. But I think that if you get the right tools and the right training and a bit of simulation, it doesn't really necessarily needs you to start your own startup, but at least, as I said, know the tools that you need to give any entrepreneurship in order to start the way to become one. So again, what I'm saying in entrepreneurship or about startups, it's a lot about the ability to give from experience and skills. Best would be from your own, but again, could be taught. You're not teaching someone really to fly a plane. Okay, if I would tell you, listen, are you a pilot? Yes. How did you become a pilot? I took a few books. I read it. Now I'm a pilot. She would say, no, I'm not flying with you. I don't want. Same here. Okay, but since we're not talking rocket science, we're talking about training at this part. It's a one thing. Later, we are not like talking more theoretical. But when it comes to the practical, I would assume that any startup that wants to get an advice will say, tell me about your startup. Oh, you didn't have one? Thank you. I will go to someone who did have. But for the theoretical part, it's okay to give advice.
Okay, so if I sum up what we said, actual teachers, it's good if they go through the process, but also we can organize simulations for them, then they learn and then start.
Exactly. They don't need to go through the entire process of, starting and then failing. We do it rapidly. You failed, good, now, over. Let's simulate.
This is the advice to junior achievement, actually, how they have to work with the teacher. So first we have to organize simulation for them, and then, okay, now you're ready, you can go and teach. Okay, so maybe you almost taught this answer. What are the key skills that require to teach entrepreneurship? This is the main experience if they go through the process. But would you like to underline specific skills?
Mm-hmm.
So it's important if you want to teach entrepreneurship.
Yes. As you said, I mentioned most, but I will say again, I think first of all, need to be open-minded. Again, yes. Why? Because sometimes someone will approach us with something that we don't relate to. But if you close, you're not good for the job. you need to be able to respond, but respond softly. You don't need to be, you know, too hard. And by the way, you're not a judge. You don't need to say right, wrong, left, right. You need to give tools for them to choose. This is teaching. This is teaching. This is theory. Okay? And in theory, we suggest, we give options. It could be this and this and this. And by the way, all options are good. Every number you will say is right. Okay? As long this is not life and death decisions. So this, I think you need to be knowledgeable. I think as a teacher, you need to have the capability, which you have inherently because you're a teacher. So you know how to learn, but you need also to know how to teach. And entrepreneurship is not that different than any other teaching, but I think that different than teaching, let's say, math or literature, here you're teaching someone also that needs business skills, management skills. So you would need to have a bigger array. This is why you need to be able to acquire a lot more information, which will need you to sit on the chair on your bums and learn and learn and learn. Good for us, everything is on the internet. You just need to search at the right place. I think that, again, being, you know, welcoming, smiling, and offering help to anyone, but also helping them understand, that the students, that they need to help others. To create communities is very important. To lead by example. Don't say to someone something that you don't mean or you don't intend even to do just to say something. No, lead by example. And yes, this is why I see many teachers that say, well, I don't know. Once they taste it, they want to become entrepreneurs. You don't know how many teachers started this process and said to me after, let's say, 1 month, 2 weeks, can I talk to you? I said, what? I have an idea for a startup. I said, really? How? I said, no, it just popped to my mind that I need to do something about it. It will happen to you also. It's so exciting.
I have a question. Do you have a book that you will recommend to our teachers to read first before starting the teaching?
I would recommend reading, first of all, about us, the Startup Nation book. I think it's very nice. And
we also have in Russian language, I have to say.
Yeah, it was translated to many languages. And I think that maybe now, maybe not the books, but going on YouTube and seeing people like Eric Ries or people like Simon Sinek, or by the way, any good TED Talk that would speak about, don't go directly to the obvious, I will write entrepreneurship and startups. But again, understand the problem in startups mainly, and I'm speaking maybe about more mature startups, is that they have great ability to deliver technology, but they do lack more management and business. Okay, they're not that strong. This is where the teachers come into role more than speaking about the technology, is speaking about, we say, soft skills on how to create a team, how to manage the team, how to manage the work plan, how to speak to people, how to pitch your presentation. Pitch to presentation, it's not that different if I pitch to you on Zoom, if I stand in front of a live audience, or if I sit with an investor. They're all the same. It's pitching. It's speaking your stories, doing storytelling. These abilities, well, people don't have them, let's say, naturally that good. Some have it, but less. I mean, more people don't have it. Okay, so these are skills that I think teachers on the day-to-day standing in front of audience have. Okay, but one thing is to tell you a story, and another thing is to convince you to buy what I have. It's different. Not everyone is born a salesperson.
I also have questions regarding the COVID-19. So the situation is changed in the country, and also we had to close schools, the online teaching, distance teaching, and distance learning. So, and then we have to stop our teaching of entrepreneurship. Because many of our teachers, most of our teachers said that it's not possible to teach entrepreneurship online. So my question is, what do you think? What's your personal opinion? Can entrepreneurship be taught online?
First of all, I think that COVID-19 coronavirus taught us or showed us that remote studying, remote education is not that easy to anyone. And it also showed, I think, many education systems in different countries that they're not ready. Well, to just put a presentation and speak, that's not remote studying, that's not remote education. And you see that teachers are not that trained even to create the content. Not even to create the content is not that easy. And you find yourself sitting in front of a screen with, I don't know, 25, 35 young students shouting, fighting through the screen, writing this, chatting that, and you're trying to control it. When you as a teacher, you don't control the simple technology of going unmute when you speak, okay? So first of all, it's worldwide that we are not ready, which is right now a big opportunity. Remote education is going to take, I think, a crucial role in what is coming after Corona. Is everyone now will start to get more ready, meaning it's a lot of, as we say, blue ocean for startups to come up with technologies that will solve it. This is to begin. Then I think personally, I think that this remote, this Zoom, these webinars, first of all, gave us a great opportunity to have conversations with people that otherwise we will never meet. Because if you are in a remote region in Azerbaijan and you're scheduling me to speak, you will have to make me travel, right, to reach. Or even if I'm local in Baku and I have to reach 6 or 4 or 6 hours, I'm not traveling. But now I have Zoom. Now I have webinar. Now you can reach me wherever I am. So this, I think, made remote education easy on reaching people and sharing people which, you know, otherwise you will never meet. Not like this, okay? Not on, and this face-to-face is not that bad. So we don't waste time on the driving, on the parking, on the elevator, but we do communicate. Now tell me, do you think that entrepreneurship, you need to touch people? Only when you shake the hand? Let me tell you a story. You heard about a startup in Israel called Move It for public transportation. Move It.
No, I didn't.
Okay, Move It was acquired 2 weeks back by Intel for $1 billion. Now over 900 million, $1 billion. The CEO went on TV and said, I signed the contract by Zoom. So if a startup can raise $1 billion doing Zoom, we can do entrepreneurship using webinars. Come on. Israeli startup during the months of Corona raised over $900 million in funds through webinar. No shake of hands, no doing lechaim, salute. No, just talking through a screen. It's fine. So we can teach entrepreneurship, but I agree, like for everything in life, we are a social animal. We will always like to hug and to shake hands and to kiss. This is it. Not relevant to saying, no, we cannot conduct entrepreneurship because we don't meet. We do, we are, and we will.
Okay, so it's possible to teach entrepreneurship online as well. So I also have another question. What will be your advice to our teachers, trainers, considering this new situation, but mainly what their skills they have to know, what their skills they have to, how they should use their times to improve or maybe advance their skills? What are the key skills that the teachers need in order to be able to teach professionally using the webinars or Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Teams, etc.
So you're asking about what are the tools to conduct a webinar?
No, I'm asking, so what will be your advice? What are the skills the teachers need to work more on it? If you said before, now it's hard for teachers to do, it's not like easy to make a content easy, or make presentations, but what are the key skills? What to say, if I am a teacher of entrepreneurship, what should be, I focus more on what kind of skills, maybe doing presentations, or what are these skills?
Definitely presentation. I think that the fact that we are not physically in a classroom where we can reach out to someone maybe and touch, when the formality is in a way that we are very close to the person, okay, this changed. So right now, I'm putting aside the fact that your students can say, well, internet is bad and he's out, or they close the camera. By the way, with Zoom, I control everything. I control what to see, who speaks, mute, unmute, video, not video, recording. I control everything. So first of all, learn the platform. But this is very easy because they have videos for everything. Just take 2 or 3 videos, see them, train yourself during, and you will control Zoom, Teams, all the other platforms. It's very easy. Then you will still have to have maybe more skills to keep the classroom engaged.
This is the hardest one.
Of course, this is the hardest part. So yes, you need to be, I think, stronger. I mean, more precise and more assertive, you know? So there is no fooling around. There is no chatting without you not knowing. And you can control it, by the way, because if they chat private, you don't see it, but you can control it, okay? But when this session becomes you being assertive and they're trying tricks, it's no studying. This is not education. It's harder to keep them engaged. Since this is done through computer, this is where you need to have yourself, let's say, kind of ready-made scenarios that will really bring into effect your students' capabilities. Since now, and in some cases, the students know more technology, they know more software than the teacher. It's okay to tell the students, hey, how about we reverse the role? How about you become teachers? How about you choose YouTube? Fine, let's go YouTube. TikTok, let's go TikTok. Okay, teach me. Teach me. You as a student, your role for the next meeting will be, you will conduct the session. I will sit here as a student, you will teach me. By the way, also give me an exam. Okay, I'm in. In a way, it really allows us to switch sides, you know, change of chair. Anything that will let the students bring what they have, their ability. By the way, not all the students are the same. Not all students know TikTok or YouTube, so they get to teach one another. Now we understand, by the way, that maybe to teach literature is important. But when you use computer, you can add to this teaching a lot of elements. For instance, we have learned about Dostoevsky. Good. How about you show us some pictures of Dostoevsky? How about you show us a short video about Dostoevsky? Use the computer. Use the fact that now they're Googling all the time to bring it in by giving them the assignment to do. You don't need to do it for them. You know?
So my conclusion will be that teachers need to be digitally ready, so digitally equipped.
Currently, they're digitally challenged. They need to go over the challenge.
And then they should be agile.
Yes, and again, you know how many lectures I've seen so far of people offering their expertise to teach just how to do Zoom call. For teachers. Teachers that teach teachers how to do the perfect Zoom call. You know how many videos are there on YouTube? Endless. Go and search them.
Okay. And I also have my last question regarding entrepreneurship, or maybe startups. Is there a formula of success, or what is the formula of success if you want to be an entrepreneur or startupper?
As I said, startups are not for everyone, and not everyone was born to be an entrepreneur. I think knowing me in person, the way, knowing, as we say, the roadmap and the milestone during that, I'm convinced everyone should try at least to be one, at least taste the way. As we know, 96% of startups closed first year of operation, meaning all that is left for most of us to do is to enjoy the ride, is to learn towards the next startup that we will try and do. Okay, so success, well, some would say success would be to get to the end of the semester is a success. Some will say waking up in the morning is a success. Some will say, no, 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 only if you raised money, you're a success. Some will say, no, if you have a technology and you have deployed, it's great success. Can you imagine deploying an app and, you know, going to the post office, standing in line and hearing someone in front of you saying, wow, you know, I'm using this, and you saying, oh, that's my app. They're using my app. And I'm listening. What was I saying? What am I saying? Wow, it's amazing. It really helped me. I mean, you can now jump to the sky and down. This is what I'm saying. So it's different between all of us. One thing is for sure. We all want to exit. We all want to become millionaires from our idea. Okay? By the way, we all want to earn a lot. We all want to get a lot of respect. These are people. We all want to advance. And I'm saying, oh, it's not everyone. For sure, everyone wants to be rich. Maybe not everyone wants to advance. Maybe not everyone wants to work hard. But to become an entrepreneur, it's a lot of hard work and a lot of hardship. So really, it's not for everyone. And, you know, life has its own cycle. So yes, get your, as we say, targets right and decide what works for you.
Okay, thank you, Tal, very much. Çok teşekkür ederim, Tal. So I would like to finalize this session. I hope it will be not the last one. So we will continue a series of training for our teachers. I mean, and these interesting talks will continue. Here, I would like to thank you again. Çok sağ ol. Çok minnettarıq. Hoş oldu sizinle danışmaq. Thank you very much, Tal. So here I would like to finish our interview. If please share your last remarks, if you have.
So my last remark.
I forgot to ask.
So I want to say this. When we hear lectures like this, well, we agree with some, maybe we disagree with some, but in the end, the video ends, fades, and that's it. And we take deep breath and you say, what just happened here? So either we really liked it or we say, okay, so okay. And the question is, what do we do then? To do it by yourself is very difficult, but it needs to start somewhere. I'm saying to people, listen, keep it light, keep it easy. Don't dwell too much in what did he say, how did he say, I need to do it exactly. Make your own path in life. I say, stay curious. I say, lead by example. I say, create the opportunity. Don't wait for it to fall to your lap. Create it. I say, be independent. Be open. Communicate with people. Ask people. Get people a response. You don't need to say, hey, I agree. I didn't. Just listen. We all speak a lot. We don't hear enough. Start listening to people. Then take it home and think, should I do this? By the way, as you grow up, you will see the things that you did not agree for 5 years ago. Currently, you agree. And by the way, things that you don't agree today, you will agree in 10 years ahead. So we are all evolving. We are all changing. Keep yourself up to date. Explore, be curious, as I said. And I'm definitely sure that you're going to do something. And even if not, stay healthy, stay optimistic, stay smiley. I don't know what you do. Do sport, eat green, enjoy life. Thank you for having me, Savine.
It was great to have such an expert like you with us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Our teachers, our trainers, they learned, and not only just learn, they are now inspired.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I do this. How do you do?
My daughter is better.
I don't know. Yeah, something like this.
But in GA, we do like the triangle.
J, yeah.
GA triangle.
The
yes.
triangle.
Yes.
That's how we do.